luck.
These are the worst Formula One crashes of the 21st century, and honestly, it was hard to pick just a few. So if you like this, let me know. I'll cook up a part 2 real fast, but trust me, stay until the end, because one of these crashes didn't just shock the world. It changed F1 forever. Alright, when you think of the biggest crashes, what comes to mind? A pileup? A car going airborne? A driver flipping through the air like it's a movie stunt? Well, buckle up. Lights out, Zhou Guanyu has a decent qualifying. He's starting 9th. But just seconds into the race, everything goes wrong. George Russell gets a bad launch. Gasly tries to squeeze into a gap, and then, boom! Zhou flips over, completely upside down, sliding across the track at full speed. He tears through the gravel, smashes over the barrier, and gets stuck between the fence and tire wall. Roof down. For a moment, no one knows if he's alive. Even Russell jumps out of his own car and runs to help. Miraculously, Zhou survives without a single broken bone. His car was destroyed. The roll hoop collapsed, but the halo saved his life. Period. Before we move on, a quick reminder. If you're enjoying this, hit that subscribe button so you don't miss part 2. Hungarian Grand Prix qualifying. Massa's flying down the straight, pushing for one last hot lap in Q2. Then, out of nowhere, whack! A random spring, yes, a spring, flies off Rubens Barrichello's car and smacks Massa in the helmet at 160 miles per hour. His car doesn't turn. He crashes straight into the wall. And even worse, and his engine keeps revving. That's when you know it's bad. He's knocked out cold unconscious before he even hit the barrier. He's airlifted to the hospital with a skull fracture, brain concussion, and eye trauma. He survived, he recovered, but something changed. Massa was never quite the same after that. Suzuka pouring rain, a literal typhoon. Visibility, 0. Grip, non-existent. But F1 says, let's go racing. Adrian Seudel crashes into the wall on lap 42. No big deal. Until one lap later, Jules Bianchi goes off at the exact same corner. And this time, a crane is there, pulling Seudel's car out. Bianchi hits the recovery vehicle at full speed. Head on. The G-force? 254 grams. His helmet slammed into the crane. He's rushed to hospital in a coma, but he never wakes up. Bianchi passed away months later, the first driver to die in a race since Ayrton Senna. That crash led to the virtual safety car. It forced the sport to finally say, never again. If this moment hit you, comment below with # for Jules. Let's keep his name alive. First corner chaos. Hülkenberg brakes too late, launches Alonso into the air. Alonso's car flies over Leclerc's cockpit, and the tire lands right on the halo. Without it, Leclerc's head would have been crushed. The halo had been controversial. Ugly, people said. But after that, nobody questioned it again. And just when you thought Spa couldn't get wilder, let's go back in time for a title decider that ended in a wall. The season finale. Michael Schumacher leads Damon Hill by 1 point going into Adelaide. Schumacher brushes the wall, damages his car, and as Hill dives for a pass, Michael turns in and the two collide. Both are out, and just like that, Schumacher is world champion. It's one of the most controversial moments in F1 history. Was it intentional? A racing incident? To this day, fans still argue. Let me know what you think in the comments. Was it dirty racing or just championship pressure? During qualifying in Jeddah, Mick Schumacher loses control at high speed. The car hits the wall hard, then slides across the track and smashes the other barrier, ripping itself apart. Everyone holds their breath. His Haas is completely destroyed, but Mick climbs out on his own. Shaken. But okay, it's one of the most violent solo crashes in recent F1 memory, and a reminder that even today, with all the safety tech, this sport is never, ever risk-free. It starts like a normal race. The lights go out. Cars dive into turn 1. The usual chaos, but just a few seconds later. Romain Grosjean veers slightly right, clips Daniil Kvyat's AlphaTauri, and slams into the barrier at 137 miles per hour. And then, the screen turns orange. Explosion. Flames everywhere. It takes a second to even process what's happening. His car is split in half. The front is wedged between the metal guardrails. And it's burning. Commentators go silent. Viewers go numb. 27 seconds pass. Everyone thinks the worst. And then, like a scene from a movie, Grosjean jumps out of the fire. His suit's scorched. His hands are burned. But he's alive. How? The halo, the cockpit, the HANS device, the fireproof overalls, and two heroes, Dr. Ian Roberts and medical car driver Alan van der Merwe, who didn't hesitate for a second. That day proved one thing. Modern F1 safety is no joke. Lap 26. Safety cars just pulled in. Robert Kubica is behind Jarno Trulli, going over 160 miles per hour. He dives inside at the hairpin, but misjudges it, clips Trulli, launches over a bump, and slams straight into the wall. But it doesn't end there. His car bounces off, cartwheels across the track, and explodes into pieces. Commentary goes dead. Fans are frozen. The car looks like scrap metal. Then the update comes in. He's alive. Not just alive, he has a sprained ankle. He missed just one race. 1 year later, he came back to win Montreal. Talk about redemption. Mark Webber, Red Bull. Closing in on Heikki Kovalainen's Lotus. He's got speed, he's got DRS, he's going for it. But Kovalainen brakes earlier than expected. Webber hits the back of the Lotus and launches into the air like a fighter jet. Seriously, so the car does a full flip, hits the DHL sign, and crashes nose first into the barriers. The whole crowd gasps. Amazingly, Webber climbs out pissed off but fine. Throws his steering wheel, throws his gloves. Later he says, 10 years earlier, I wouldn't have walked away. Fernando Alonso is chasing Esteban Gutierrez at nearly 190 miles per hour. Tries to pass on the straight. The two-touch, and Alonso's McLaren is launched into a death roll. The car flips, hits the gravel, crashes into the barrier, and ends up upside down. Unrecognizable. Commentators are stunned. Then Alonso climbs out, limping, a bit dazed, and then he shakes hands with Gutierrez. Class act. When you look at the wreckage, it's honestly insane that he survived. But that's the modern F1 miracle. It's just a Friday practice, nothing special. Marcus Ericson is flying down the main straight in his Sauber, over 210 miles per hour, and then suddenly, the rear twitches. The car veers offline, hits the wall, and starts flipping. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 full flips before it stops. You expect a stretcher, a red flag, maybe worse, but nope. Ericson climbs out like nothing happened. Later, it turns out his DRS got stuck open, even when he hit the brakes. That tiny malfunction turned a straight-line run into a full-on air show. F1 fans know, if there's one track where chaos is guaranteed, it's Spa-Francorchamps. Let's rewind to Spa 2012. First corner, lights out. Romain Grosjean completely misjudges the start, slices across the field, and takes out Hamilton, Alonso, Perez, and more in one move. Alonso's head was inches from being hit by a flying tire. That crash is one of the main reasons the Halo was finally approved a few years later. Spa again 2020. A Formula 2 crash, but one that shook the whole weekend. Antoine Hubert is killed in a multi-car crash at the top of Rédillon. It reminded everyone that motorsport, no matter how safe, will never be without risk. Every one of these crashes, whether fiery, high speed, or tragically silent, tells the same story. This sport is beautiful, but it's dangerous, and it only gets safer because drivers pay the price first. Jules Bianchi, Antoine Hubert, the reason the halo exists, the reason the virtual safety car was created, the reason we now hold our breath when there's even a yellow flag. F1 doesn't change from press conferences or meetings. It changes when the unthinkable happens, and someone doesn't walk away. But for every tragedy, there's also a miracle. Grosjean walking through fire, Zhou Guanyu climbing out of a crushed car, Alonso shaking hands after flipping down a gravel trap. These are the moments that remind us why we watch. Not just for speed, not just for competition, but for the humanity behind the helmet. If you made it this far, thank you. Please don't forget to subscribe to help us grow. And if you want a part 2 with even crazier, lesser-known crashes, let me know in the comments.